And we're live. Here is Victor Alpha 3 India Mike Whiskey. That's my call sign, VA3IMW. And we are approaching 7 p.m. on Sunday night here in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. And at 7 o'clock, our net controller will kick off the Lake Ontario Radio Club net. This net meets 5 times a week, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday on this repeater, VA3ZOE, at a frequency of 443.075, and on Thursdays on a simplex frequency of 446.125. We'll take a quick standby and wait for 7 p.m. to roll around, and our net controller, I believe, tonight will be VE3IUK. Please stand by. Good evening and attention all stations. This is Victor Alpha 3 India Mike Whiskey. In the absence of our usual Sunday night net controller, I'll step in and pick up the net. This is Victor Alpha 3 India Mike Whiskey. Welcome to the Sunday night edition of the Lake Ontario Radio Club net. Looking forward to another productive week here, but also some warmer temperatures, hopefully to be gracing our area here in southern Ontario. So with that, welcome to Lake Ontario Radio Club net. The net meets 5 times a week, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday on the ZOE repeater, and on Thursdays on a simplex frequency of 446.125. We'll take a quick standby and see if there's any time-sensitive mobile or priority traffic stations. Go ahead now. Okay, nothing heard. Very good. If you're following along on YouTube, you've obviously looked my call sign up, VA3IMW, and clicked on the live button. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That helps us all. Doesn't cost anybody a penny. Anyways, we'll take a standby and open up the net for any check-ins. If you have a valid call sign, I'm more than interested in hearing from you. VA3WPG. There's a happy guy from Dundas to VA3WPG. How you doing tonight?
Good evening, everybody. VA3WPG. Doing good. Just getting Sunday stuff done around the place. Having some cold snacks. I guess add +1 to the calendar today. Not a special day, just another day to me. Sunday especially, usually go out on the +1 day, but that's on Fridays. Nothing much going on Sunday, so we'll just be listening in the background. Everyone have a good day, good evening, VA3WPG.
Yeah, and if you're halfway around the world, you're already saying good morning. All right. Time is irrelevant, and it is relative at the same time. Thanks very much for your check-in, Chris, and good to hear you in good spirits. Victor Alpha 3, India Mike Whiskey, stand by for any further check-ins.
Victor Echo 3, Lima, Bravo, India.
And there's that loud guy. How was your day on HF frequencies? I heard you poking around here this afternoon. Good activity on the bands. even though they were a little bit dull.
I did get on actually till later. I was winding up 49 to 1, but I got that done anyways, and I got on. But I did work Curtis and his wife Kelly. So I was talking to him, and he was just actually doing his last call for going QRT. And I said, well, he says about 40 degrees up here. He says, well, is that a U.S. or Canadian temperature? I don't know. I says, is there tariffs on it?
Now, he's been in Hawaii. Is he back in on the mainland?
Yeah, they're in PA.
Okay, that's a long stretch. All right. Yeah, and I think it was those guys in Cary. Was it VA3K something? Anyways, saw them spotted a few days ago down in Hawaii working a bunch of parks, but did not have the opportunity to make contact with them. Anyways, they're back in Pennsylvania, home sweet home.
Yep, I would imagine you got to check in there too on YouTube. Victor Echo 3, India, Foxtrot Delta, I think it is. Bob from Elmira.
Oh, very good. Bob from Elmira. Certainly appreciate you finding us. And we're here Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and Thursday. So feel free to like and subscribe. You'll get a little notification of when our live streams are opening up. And maybe on a good day, you'll be able to give us an RF check-in from Elmira. All right. Very good, Larry. Thanks for bringing my attention to that. I certainly appreciate it. And anything else for the Sunday night net?
No, sir, that's it. Carry on. See what else you can pick up. I think Chuck's in there too, so I'm sure you'll get a check in from him. All right, thanks for doing it, Mac. VA3LPI clear.
All right. And you didn't say it, so I won't either. Okay. I also see Chuck, who has checked in via YouTube. So we'll see if we can grab him later on once he gets RF busy, or in other words, radioactive. Victor Alpha 3, India Mike Whiskey, standing by for check-ins. All right. While we're waiting for people to wake up and get the feeling back in their thumb, we'll remind everybody that the Support Your Parks weekend for the springtime is the third weekend in April, and the Hamilton POTA operators are planning a group activation, most likely at Valens Conservation Area, unless anybody has a better suggestion. And at this point in time, we are kind of leaning towards the Saturday of the weekend, which would be, I believe, the 17th. And if anybody has a aversion to that, they can let us know. And we're certainly going to be interested in some feedback from the general community to see who's going to participate. So the third weekend in April, the group activation at Valens or wherever you'd like to do it. Give us your feedback. Victor Alpha 3, India Mike Whiskey, standing by for any further check-ins.
VA3WPG.
VA3WPG.
Did you say 17th?
I'm guessing. Is the Saturday the 17th?
I'm looking at my calendar right now, and it appears the 17th is a Friday. Saturday, April 26th would be a Saturday?
All right, so the Support Your Parks weekend is the third weekend in April. So does that correspond with the 18th to 19th?
April 20, 26th, April 18th, Saturday, April 19th, Sunday.
All right, 18th or 19th. Very good. Thanks for that, Chris. Certainly appreciate it. Yeah, I don't have a calendar open in front of me.
I need to plan ahead myself right now, I think, so I'm trying to figure that out myself.
Okay, no worries. Yep, and like I say, we're not solid on any plans at this point. as far as the park goes or the particular date. All we know it's going to be that weekend, and it's going to be somewhere where we can all get together and agree upon a location.
That one's is good. I just need to figure out the date. Okay, VA3WVG.
Okay, thanks again, Chris. Victor Alpha 3, India Mike Whiskey, standing by for check-ins.
Wake up those thumbs.
We only want the thumbs that are attached to craniums that have some activities. I've heard a few key-ups during the week that I was tempted to respond with thumbs are working, but there's no sign of life in the cranium. But nonetheless, just ignoring those irritating individuals. Victor Alpha 3, India Mike Whiskey, standing by for the Lake Ontario Radio Club Net. Come on in and say hi.
Well, no, I'm on the right frequency. Vector Alpha 3, November 5 Flavor.
That certainly helps, Al. You're sounding mighty fine tonight. And obviously, you didn't poison yourself over the weekend with your own food. And the wife fed you very well last night, so you're back amongst the living. How you doing tonight, the mayor of Grassy?
Well, I'll tell you, Mac, I'm not sure. Nobody will tell me. But myself, I'm doing good. Wife's got dinner cooking in there, and I got life made. It's perfect.
Yep, and I'm sure she knows that she's the one that's keeping you alive, so you make sure you be real kind to that one. Just never know if another one would put up with you.
Oh, no. Me and her grew up on the streets, so, no, nobody can replace that woman. She's mine. I ain't letting her go either, so. Other than that, I got my 64 to 1 Talon in today. I got 246 feet of wire in today. I'm going to string that mother all the way out the back and see what it does to me.
All right, so you've got a chart on non-resonant wire lengths, right?
Oh, no, I just string it out and see where I end up.
Yeah, take a look on the interweb and see, just do a search for random wire lengths, because the length is really important. You want to have, you want to make sure you're cutting a length that is non-resonant on all the frequencies, but close enough that your tuner can handle it. So there are specific optimum lengths depending on whether you're going shorty short or longy long. And it sounds like you're going long, which means you want to make sure that it is the right length.
Oh, yeah, I messed up before. I'll continue to do it, so. I just kind of jump in the middle and snip it, work my way back and see what what the hell is that thing? He's 30, 35, geez, I forget the name. But anyway, whatever.
Oh, your antenna analyzer. Oh, very good. We younger hams have the cheap version, the Nano VNA.
Oh, I got that one too.
Best $36 I ever spent. Anyways, yeah, best of luck with choosing the right length. And like I say, you can simplify the whole process by just doing a quick Google search, and it'll tell you, it'll give you a random wire optimum length. So it just gives you an opportunity to hit it. Because you don't want to be resonant on one and far away from something else. So, anyways, there's a science to it. I really don't get it. Wade VA3NFG, he's a great proponent for this random wire non-resonant antenna thing, and I've always struggled with the whole concept. I try to stay resonant and therefore make the best use of it, but you know, there's got to be a reason they work, because they do. They absolutely do work.
Yeah, always use 9-to-1 on them. It had both connects on it, negative and positive. I never really used the negative. This 54-to-1 doesn't have that. I can't think of the damn term, the negative one. All it has is for your alarm wire out there, and that's it. I can't think of the damn name.
The counterpoise, and you can use an alligator clip with a 17-foot piece of wire attached to it. Just clip it on the outside of the coax connector, and that'll act as your counterpoise. If you don't run a counterpoise with your Ballon Unen, then the coax itself acts as a counterpoise. Not always a good thing, because sometimes that helps to bleed RF back into the shack.
Okay. Yeah, it kind of caught me off guard. I thought I had both sides of this Ballon, but it only had the one. So, yeah, I was going to do some research later on that one, but yeah, that explains it.
Yes, sirree. And if it's not the truth, I just made it up. So if it works, great. You can pat me on the back. If not, you're coming to me for advice. Sucks to be you.
Well, my 891 works. She's like, there this week earlier in the week, I plugged it in, and I'm looking at it, like, geez, I forgot how to work the damn thing. I turned it on, I'm trying to get through everything, and geez, I tell you, it took me an hour. I got all screwed up on it, and I finally figured it out, but geez, you put a radio aside, and you don't use it for 6 to 8 months, you kind of forget.
Yep, I got you there. Of course, the Icom radios are very much more user friendly. The EZUs, you need to be able to push a lot of buttons and remember where to go for one thing or another. Turn this on and turn that off, and all the rest of it. The most important thing that I recall running the 891 is that the power button is also your VFO lock. So once you get on frequency, lock that sucker, because that big knob gets in the way, and you swing the mic cord around, and it'll flicker, and it just makes a mess. So always lock your VFO, and you make sure you don't lose your way.
Oh yeah, I thought we figured it all out. I was working split, and I'm thinking, okay, I had to go to YouTube University to figure that one out. So I got it going. I got Slovenia on that one. I'm not sure anymore, but anyway, it's an experience. Yeah, life's good.
Absolutely. As long as we wake up on the top side of the soil every day, Al. Very good. Thanks for your check-in tonight. Anything else for the net before you dash off for dinner?
Well, I'm good. I'm going to be listening till the end here. Life's good. I'm listening. VA3IMW, VA3NFL. I'll be sitting on the side here doing the CB thing. However they say that.
Okie dokie. Thanks so much, Al. Appreciate it. Always good to hear from you. This is Victor Alpha 3 India Mike Whiskey. It's 7:17. That's what the big clock on the wall says. So let's see if we can trap a couple of more RF check-ins.
VA3 Mobile.
VA3 NFG Mobile, doing a fine job into the repeater tonight there, Steve. You're on your way out or on your way back?
I'm on my way over to see my mom. I've got some schnitzels for her and some marble cake. No potatoes, unfortunately, but I'm sure the cake will be fine. I'm sure she'll be happy with that, comparing to what you get in there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, she's going to write all of your other siblings out of the will just because you're feeding her so well. Good on you. It's nice to see you taking care of the dear old lady. I trust that she's making good progress. So she's taken down a schnitzel and a marbled cake tonight. Very good. I'm sure in some realm they're both healthy.
schnitzel's always good, and she's had it before, and she does like it. So, and she knows it's coming. So I'm sure she's anxiously awaiting my arrival. But yeah, so yeah, that's about it there, Mac. Seems as though 7 o'clock is the hour when I go see her, right when the net starts. So that's good though. Guaranteed to get a check-in from me every night at 7 o'clock almost. All right, Mac, thanks again, buddy, for doing it, and we'll be listening to the remainder of the net. VA3IMW, VA3IMW Mobile.
All right, thanks again, Steve, and don't forget to wish all the best to your mother from the entire ham radio community, and 7-3s to you and the family. Victor Alpha 3, India Mike Whiskey, standing by for further check-ins.
I think I got that right, Mike. VA3 CJZ.
Oh, are you suffering from the Bill syndrome? There's the guy that picks up the wrong mic all the time. He tells you that he's got to go and do something, and then he grabs a microphone and throws at his call sign, only to realize, oops, nope, he's got to grab the 735 microphone instead. Yeah, you're not doing something else. You're doing POTA. Anyways, Charles, how you doing tonight?
VA3 CJZ. Good evening, Mac, and all on net. Doing pretty good. Let's see now. I did something. I did a boo-boo that I haven't done in years, since back in my 11-meter days. I decided to hook up another radio in line that I took out a while ago. And I was going to hook it up to my battery. And I got the poles mixed. And so I blew the fuse in the radio, and no spares. So I had to order them, and they came in today, and I put them in. So because my battery doesn't have any colors on the plus or minus, I ended up taping a red piece of tape on the positive side to make sure I don't do that again. So other than that, I've been trying to learn how to run Ham Radio Deluxe. I got a trial for a month. Man, there's a lot to that thing. Back to you, Mac.
Comment.
All right, hang on a second there, Chris. Yeah, the other option for your battery is to sneak into your wife's nail polish kit and just put a dab of red paint on the positive side. Let's bring in Chris for the comment.
Yeah, just a quick comment here, VA3WPG. Just want to say that obviously we all know every 12-volt power supply comes with polarized connectors. However, motorcycle batteries, POTA batteries, portable 12-volt batteries, I have never got a 12-volt battery that had polarized terminals. Yeah, smart move to mark them, but just interesting thing to notice that I've never noticed that I've had a 12-volt portable battery colorized terminals. VA3 WPG, but every power supply you get will.
Yep, absolutely. And lead acid and AMG batteries come with little protective caps, and the negative has a black cap and the positive has a red cap, and they're different sizes. So once you get down to these other ones, I guess they expect us to be a little bit more cognizant of what's going on. Anyways, the good news, I guess, Chuck, is that you didn't blow something in the radio. The fuse gave it up instead, which is good news. Roger?
Oh, yeah, man. The first thing I did was follow the leads down to see if there was a fuse in line. And there are two. this is the big 2-meter Yaesu, the 2980, does 80 watts. And so there are two in line. And when shopping for the fuses that I wanted, they were 25 amperes. I noticed that I could get 25 of these fuses for less money than if I were to buy 10 of them. Go figure.
Well, that tells you very clearly that the packaging and shipping is more expensive than the product itself.
Yeah, and I don't think that cheaper, or sorry, the one with the less in the package, I don't think that was an overnight thing. I think I would have had to wait 2 days for that. So I said, all right, I'll get 25 of them. So if anybody needs any 25 amp fuse, I got a few spares.
Or you can make this error another 13 times with it. What, 13, 12, 11? Yeah. You have 11 more excuses that you can correct very quickly by plugging and playing.
Yeah, well, actually, as a matter of fact, only one fuse blew there, Mac. I think it was the negative side that blew. Not 100% now, because obviously I've already taken them out. But yeah, I'm so thankful that there's two of them in line there. And yeah, it would be a shame to... actually, it would probably be cheaper to buy a replacement radio than it would be to repair it. So I'm glad the $12 or $13 fuses are doing the trick. Other than that, I'm sitting here by myself. The missus is back at work, and I'm trying to stay out of trouble.
That's funny right there. Because we all know, well, some of us know about the trouble you've been created all over the many years. But nonetheless, good on you. You're staying out of trouble. You've got your hands folded neatly in your lap, and that's good. Tomorrow's Monday, by the way, right?
Geez, I don't know. Every day is a Saturday or Sunday to me, or a Friday. Let me look. Oh, yeah, it is. No alcohol for me.
There you go. So we'll be looking forward to hearing from Chuck tomorrow night at 7 p.m. hosting the Lake Ontario Radio Club Oopsie Net, starting at 7 p.m. And until then, Charles is going to be staying out of trouble.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot to do my plug. Thank you, Mac. Yes, absolutely. Tomorrow will be the Monday night accidental net at 7 p.m. right here on the ZOE repeater. Thanks, Mac. Back to you.
All right, Chuck. Very good. So all the radio gear is working just fine. You're all plugged in, and your new computer, your new computer, is that already here, or is that a couple of days away?
Yeah, I think the 19th to the 23rd is the time frame they've given me. So who knows? It's going to come by UPS. And I did some investigating over the weekend, and it hasn't moved from the facility, wherever it may be. And I guess we'll know more tomorrow once official business hours start from Monday to Friday for these places.
All right, and then you'll be busily installing software, and we'll hear about that, I'm sure. I trust it goes seamlessly. Thanks very much for your check-in tonight, Chuck, and we'll be certain to check in with you tomorrow night. All right, let's see. Am I missing anybody on the web? Solar Newbie checking in. That's Al. Thanks for the YouTube check-in as well. All right, we'll take another quick standby, see if we can trap any more RF check-ins. Victor Alpha 3, India Mike Whiskey, stand by.
VA3 Echo Kilo Juliet.
Good evening, Bill. You're right on time. How's Mom tonight?
She's doing good. Hale and hearty, that's the main thing. And it's also great time when I phone her. My cat and my dog get all excited because just before I call my mom, I give them their evening treats.
Do you give yourself a treat about the same time?
Normally, yes. You know, I've always been a great one for muffins and some of the better type of cookies. I'm particularly fond of pirate cookies. R. But I'm out, so I had to make do with crackers.
Well, if it's a graham wafer cracker with a flambéed mushroom and a piece of chocolate, then that sounds like a good snack.
Oh, you got me crying now, Mac. It's not. It's just an ordinary soup cracker. Not even any butter or jam on it.
Oh, goodness gracious. You wouldn't want more of that, would you?
Actually, I do. Crackers are a staple in my family. I don't know if it's our East Coaster blood or what. But ever since I was a little kid, I loved nothing better than just ordinary crackers. And usually, you know, I'll take them plain, but a little butter on them, or make a sandwich out of 2 or 3 crackers and butter on one layer and jam on another. You know, and I'm happy.
All right, here you go. A standard saltine cracker with a little spread of, yes, cheese whiz, and a little piece of bread and butter pickle right on top of that. And there you go. There you have a snack.
Oh, I got halfway there. Upon occasion, I'll take some brick medium cheddar cheese and, you know, slice up a little bit to fit on a cracker and give it about 30 seconds in the microwave. Sometimes if I'm feeling really I'll put a green onion, or olive rather, on top of the cheese before I put it in the microwave. And that's my version of Mexican food when I'm batching it now.
Oh, that's way too fancy. If you're going to go that far, then you want to put it under the broiler. And yes, the cracker, any selection of cheese, and a little sliver of jalapeno, and toast that under the broiler. And chihuahua.
Oh, I don't think I could go that far, Mac. I'm a bit of a wuss when it comes to spiciness. If it gets too hot, I'm in trouble. I have to take the very mild chicken wings. You know, I think it's my British heritage. Meat and potatoes is as fancy as I get.
I think a lot of us North Americans sell short on spice tolerance, because actually jalapenos are not that terribly spicy. As a matter of fact, if you slice them and cut out the veins and the seeds, what's left behind is pure flavor, not overly hot, and it won't sting the exit door.
If you're a fan of the ventriloquist Jeff Dunham, you probably know the one dummy he's got, the jalapeno on a stick.
That's right. That's Jose.
I've enjoyed Mr. Dunham for years. You know, Walter is my role model.
Yeah, I am Walter.
Oh, it's a worthy goal.
Yeah, and I think once upon a time I might have acted more like the redneck with one tooth, but yeah, Jeff Dunham has always been one of my favorites as well. Yes, and what's his other world famous? Um, uh, the oh geez, the Mad Bomber. No, no, no. What's it called now? Um, yeah. Anyways, you know who I mean.
Ahmed the Dead Terrorist.
That's him.
Yeah, he is just hilarious. You know, one of the videos I watched, he took his show all over the world, and he did drag out Ahmed in Saudi Arabia, and he says they just absolutely loved it. You know, it wasn't as delicate a subject to those people because, well, Saudi Arabia, they're all very civilized, but of course they have neighbors that aren't. And we all like to laugh at our neighbors, I guess, so they just loved Ahmed.
Yeah, I remember seeing the show, and somewhat precarious, but even beyond that, I think um, a lot of the dialogue that ensued after Jeff broke up with his first wife, and each one of his puppets were poking fun at how Jeff had lost half of everything that he owned to his wife, except for she wouldn't take any of the puppets.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, sadly, divorces are not uncommon anymore. He seems to have a good relationship with his ex and his daughters, and he seems very happy with the new ones, so can't complain. But he was able to vent a lot of his feelings through Walter, of course, because the worst jokes about getting divorced or even just being married, you know, Walter is the best delivery guy for those.
Yeah, if we could all have a deflection characteristic just like that, right? I'm sure I would have 5 or 6 different alter egos that I would be able to deflect all those negative inferences to. But anyways, you're doing a fine job tonight, coming in nice and clean into the repeater. You're obviously down in the shack.
Yeah, the only place I can hit it, Mac. You know, just here I am on the north end, and I need 25 watts, and I need an antenna above the second story, or I just can't hit it.
Well, we'll see what Terry can do coming into the warm weather. We have heard that he was successful in finding out where they took his 4-bay antenna, even though they cut it up into little pieces. I believe he's looking for somebody to weld it back together, and hopefully he can find a way to put it in a place where it will serve better than the current situation. Even though the X50 up on top of the Mohawk College is currently servicing Hamilton fairly well. Unfortunately, it's not the stellar performance that we've been spoiled with for years on end.
Well, yeah, but, effectively anything east of James Street, well, even James Street, I've been up and down there when I go out, and really spotty with a handheld all along James Street as well, James North. And anything east of that, base station situations only.
It's the only way to hit it. But, you know, it'll be good if he gets more gain to the antenna. But I know from direct experience, when my buddy and I put up the first UHF repeater in Hamilton back in the 80s, and we learned the hard way. Doesn't matter how much power or how much gain you got, it's all about elevation. You know, you want to get up on the escarpment, but if you're too far back from the escarpment, you either shoot right over everything below, or you get into the most wicked diffraction patterns. And the only substitute for that, like the farther back you are, the higher you better get. That's why ZOE works so wonderfully, because of the height it had before. I tip my hat to you letting me know that it used to be, you know, a 200-foot tower. I didn't realize it was that tall, because frankly, I was surprised at how well it worked, because Mohawk's quite a ways back, but 200 feet was more than enough to, you know, it's all trigonometry, Mac, and it's been 100 years since I took those maths.
Absolutely. And that's 200 feet of tower on top of the building. So, yeah, you're coming pretty close to 300 feet above the escarpment. And the escarpment's 700 feet tall. So that's 1,000 feet above sea level. There you go. That's our geography lesson for today. I'm also going to recognize Albert VA3BT checking in. I believe he's checking in from Barrie or on his way to Barrie. Safe travels there, Albert. Thanks for saying hello to us tonight. Anyways, yes, I guess part and parcel, the VE3WIK repeater has been repositioned. It's also on the escarpment, but up in Waterdown. And it is also now in a position where it can reach far and wide. I do recall back in the heyday with the VE3 ZOE repeater, I was able to reach Hamilton from what I call the Big Apple, way down the highway. If you recall where that's at, down towards Kingston.
Yes, indeed. I was born in Kingston, but of course I wasn't a ham then. You know, I barely knew, you know, much of anything except how to fill a diaper. Actually, I'm still good at that now. I've been accused of that before, but used to drive once in a while to Point Claire, to the head office of the company I was working for. So I remember the Big Apple for sure.
Yep, yes, sir. I came back from Quebec attending my uncle's funeral and crested a hillside on the 401 just by the Big Apple, and I checked into the net right here on the ZOE repeater and said hello to Arpad. He was quite impressed.
Well, yeah, that is the good thing about being up on the escarpment. Even if you're, you know, you shadow out the city of Hamilton, you know, if you're too far back, at the same time, heading towards Toronto and towards the Big Apple, you've got a clear shot, and it works, well, pretty well. Any repeater will work extremely well in that direction. The one we put up in the 80s, it was reliable coverage all the way to, well, I guess where the 35 breaks off the 401 to go up to Peterborough. And we didn't, that's about as far up as we drove one particular afternoon. But, and our repeater was in Vinemount. It was about 5th Road East and Ridge Road above Stony Creek, if you know where that is, Mac.
Absolutely, I do so. Over there on the east side.
Yep. We had an 80-foot tower and a 4-bay collinear on the top of it. But you know, going back the other way towards Bimbrook, when you got to Rymel Road, everything sloped up from the escarpment towards Rymel Road, and the ground was 80 feet higher than it was where our repeater was, right on Ridge Road. You know, one house lot away from the edge. And in the winter time, we could scoot out beyond it a little bit. In the summertime with the leaves, we couldn't get through that at all. Rymel Road was where we just ended going south. So Bimbrook and everything was out, you know, and but 80 feet was about all we had the money to put into a town.
You might have done it.
No, I don't think so. I just ended rather abruptly. I was saying we didn't have any more money to put into the tower.
Oh, you short stroked on the PTT and we heard Tau. Okay. Anyways, yes, those were the days, my friend. Yep. Long ago. All right, Bill. We haven't heard the other Bill on tonight. I'm not sure where he's at. I trust he didn't fall face first into something. And we're all hoping the best for him. What else you got for us tonight?
Well, I'm just making a comment. When we built up our repeater, we scrounged like mad. And because of the industry I was in, I knew tons of engineers from Texas Instrument, Motorola, and Intel, and everything else. And those guys would always slip me parts as samples, and you know, that's how we grew most of what we used. But we passed the hat as far as getting a second-hand 80-foot tower, and it reminded us of that old blues lyric. You know, some I spent on whiskey, and some I spent on women, and some I just wasted.
And if you had to do it over again?
Absolutely. When you're in your 20s and you're just having fun, why not?
Absolutely. If you didn't make all the mistakes that you've made over the years, you wouldn't be as smart as you are today.
Well, there are always the people that would be telling you, oh, watch your money, someday you'll need it, and do this and do that. But the thing is, they were right, of course, but I look back at it, and all that wasteful, frivolous living gave me some magnificent memories. And I have friends and relations I can't help feel sorry for. They did everything the right way, and they have nothing to look back and be proud of.
That is a unique way to put it, but absolutely agree. I know over the years I've made a ton of mistakes, and some of the things I would shudder to think how I survived, but nonetheless, here I am today, and I can't think of anything that I'd want to change going back over the years.
Well, after successfully becoming Walter, that's something to be proud of.
There you go. On the other hand, that's my alter ego. This guy is 100% proud of his wife, and I'm sure that I would never have found another woman that would have put up with me and my antics for all these years. So I may joke about that relationship, but the truth be told, I'm anti-Walter because she's a special part right here, and the first one that I said I do to, and I'll never do it again.
Well, my first one was like 29 years of bad road. But, the second one wasn't very long. We only had 10 years before she passed on. But I hit the jackpot, Mac. Not only was she sweet and kind and lovely, she thought ham radio was really, really neat. She loved nothing better than to go with us out to Milton, walk around, look at the junk. Once in a while, she'd find junk that wasn't ham radio. Like, as you know, there's camera stuff up there, and there's guys selling a little bit of this and that, other things. She was really into photography for her hobby. But she just liked getting out. And all my friends, they treated her like a queen. I think they were envious, the fact I had a wife that loved ham radio. She never argued with me when I wanted, take household money to put up an antenna. So for the second one, I had no right to complain in any way, shape, or form, Mac.
Absolutely. There you go. I got to say that my wife really doesn't understand ham radio. I think she got a little glimpse of it when Rogers went down in a big way. And I said to her, my social network is still working just fine. And from there on in, she's quite understanding when I disappear down into the shack and come back several days later, hours later. Sometimes when she's making plans, wants to go this place or that place, she is checking in with me to see when I'm required to be available for on-air activities. So she's cognizant of what I'm doing. However, she's not personally involved. And we're planning a trip later this year going out to the East Coast. We have not yet been to Newfoundland and Labrador. When I mentioned that I wanted to bring some radio equipment with me, she crossed her arms. So there's another discussion that we'll have to carry on in a different way. Anyways, I think we're pretty much at the limit, unless you have any more traffic for the net.
Nope, just more old man stories, but they can wait for another time.
All right, Bill. Always good to hear from you. Certainly appreciate your check-in tonight. Glad that Mom's doing well. This is Victor Alpha 3, India Mike Whiskey, standing by for any last-minute check-ins.
VA3WPG.
Go ahead, Chris.
First off, just shout out to Jeff Dunham. Let's not forget Jose the Jalapeno. That little green pepper is absolutely hilarious. But all right, so question. Now that we've had our geography lesson for the night, let's bring on our welding and metalworking lesson for tonight. I believe I heard you say that Terry is looking to have the ZOE 4-bay antenna welded. Not having much experience in that department, and I've never had first-hand experience with the 4-bay antenna. I'm going to assume, correct me if I'm wrong, that the 4-bay antenna is mounted on a hollow mast that you attach to a tower. If that is the case, explain to me why welding would be stronger than finding a solid core and inserting the solid core into each end of the 4-bay antenna with extremely strong clamps onto each end of the 4-bay antenna. Would a weld actually be stronger than that?
I'm not sure it would be stronger, and probably if you're going to weld something like that back together. So I'm sure you've looked up on the internet what the configuration of those antennas are. It's actually something of a loop, not a circular loop, but the knuckle draggers that took everything down when they pulled the tower down, they thought all that stuff was scrap metal. So they took a grinder and cut up the bits and pieces so that they could easily dispose of the scrap metal. So, inserting a tube and welding is probably the preferred method of reattaching the severed pieces of the forebay.
Okay, so as long as the tube would still be involved in it, I was just thinking, if we're looking to get it back up high eventually, I was just thinking, would a weld really be strong enough with those kind of winds that we've been having recently? But a tube and a weld, okay, that I can see. I just heard we were mentioning something about looking for a weld, but if we're including a tube in that, solid core, okay, perfect. Okay, VA3WPG.
Excuse me?
There you go. I'll take an excuse me. Go ahead, sir.
Well, if it's a commercial forebay, they're normally done on aluminum. And I understand that's a little bit of trouble, more trouble to weld. But the weld can be very strong if it's a good welder. But also they normally bring it needs a phasing line harness, which is normally put up the masting pipe. So, well, I'm sure Terry can fiddle, something around that'll work. But it is a little more complicated, and it depends on how badly they cut things. I'm sure the phasing harness is scrap totally, so he's going to have the work to do there. But it's worth doing. But I don't know if it becomes too much aggravation or too expensive. Even the typical dual bender stick, $100 from Amazon or whatever. It's all height, as I say. A few more dB a gain is not going to really make any difference because of the way Hamilton is. You've got that escarpment, and if you're up on the escarpment and back of it, you got to cope with it. So it's not the gain that's most important. Probably a quarter wave, 200 feet up for ZOE rather than that collinear they've had all these years. I doubt if anybody, down in Niagara Falls could have told the difference.
Yeah, so if there was a solid core, if it was hollow other than the solid core would interfere with that going through it to connect to wherever it needs, yeah.
Yep. Although, if it was, I don't know if you could patch the cabling on the outside. I don't know. I'm just glad it's not my problem.
And that much is going a little bit beyond me.
Yep. So currently, what we have is an X50 that's up above the mezzanine. So it certainly doesn't have the height. It doesn't have the gain. But there is an opportunity, I'm sure, to stick up something with a little more gain, maybe a little more height. Maybe an X200 or an X700 or an X500. But if he goes with anything that has additional height, he may have to guide the tip of the antenna so it doesn't waver back and forth. The higher gain is going to have to be stable so that it doesn't flex in the wind and give you that disc effect. So I'm sure he's a pretty bright boy. He survived all these years and is still breathing in and out. So at this point in time, he hasn't asked for any assistance, and I'm sure that he knows that the entire Hamilton amateur, the entire Hamilton group here that frequents this particular repeater would be more than willing to assist wherever necessary. Anyways, still taking check-ins for the Hamilton. Oh, geez. Gapping. All right. Still taking check-ins for the Lake Ontario Radio Club Net. We've got 2 minutes until we have a hard stop.
And VA3WPG. I'll just be the first to throw my call sign out there if there's any assistance needed, because I have never had any experience with repeaters, so it would be neat to get some repeater experience in there just to see what they are. Anyways, VA3WPG.
You know, we all owe such a debt to Terry. There's so many involved in POTA and such. It wouldn't hurt at all, Mac, to pass the hat. You know, even if we all just only kicked in, 10 or 20 bucks, it would make a big difference. And maybe he could make some choices more for what he would like rather than what he has to do.
Yeah, and I think probably the only thing that's in the back of his mind is giving up control. But I think pretty much everybody that's of my mind would agree that if I had to throw a couple of bucks into a pot anonymously, I would not demand any control over the entire system. The way he's run this repeater for many, many years has been just fine. And I would want to anonymously drop a little bit of coin into a pot and help him out, and um, not expect any um, rights of control. So I'm sure, you know what, he listens quite a bit. So yeah, and the spring is coming, right? We'll be able to rub shoulders with folks as we go into the springtime with the junk in the trunk bits and pieces that we're going to do out through the springtime. So I'm sure we'll be able to have some discussions that are not going to be monitored by millions and millions of people that are listening to us right now. Anyways, thanks one and all. I'm going to bring this net to a close. We'll bring this line of discussion to a close as well. And that brings me to the point where I want to thank Terry, VE3IQL, for the use of the VE3 ZOE repeater. It's been performing really well. Obviously, everybody recalls when it was outperforming all of our expectations. But at this point in time, we're certainly appreciative of all of Terry's efforts. So we'll be back tomorrow night here at 7 p.m. And Chuck, VA3CJZ, will be your net controller. Until then, I'll bid you all 7-3s, and we'll turn the frequency and the repeater back to normal amateur use. I'll be sticking around for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not looking for any repeater control or any cash or anything like that. I just say it'd be cool to get some experience getting some hands-on with some repeaters. VA3WPG.
Seven threes, one and all. That's how we say goodbye.